An expenditure is any purchase, payment, or thing of value made by a person for the purpose of influencing an election. Participating candidates may only use campaign funds to pay for goods and services for direct campaign purposes. All expenditures made by the campaign committee must be reported in the period in which they are incurred. A joint expenditure is when two or more candidates agree to share the cost of goods or services. A candidate may authorize an individual to make campaign expenditures as long as the campaign has sufficient funds to make the purchase on the date of the expenditure. If the individual uses personal monies, a reimbursement from the campaign must be made within 7 calendar days. Expenditures for campaign consulting or advising must have a detailed description of the service in the campaign finance reports. A campaign consultant is any person paid by a participating candidate's campaign who provides services that are ordinarily charged to a person. Participating candidates may only make advance payments for services if an itemized invoice is received at the time of payment and the candidate has cash on hand. The commission must be included on the mail batch for all mailers and invitations. Otherwise, it may be considered evidence a mailer was not for a direct campaign purpose. Candidates are prohibited from transferring money to political parties and/or 501(a) entities. Fixed assets are items that have value and function beyond the campaign. Candidates who purchase a fixed asset that exceeds $200 may either pay the commission 80% of the purchase price and keep the item, or give it to the commission at the end of their campaign. Either option must occur within 14 days after the primary election or general election if the candidate was successful in their primary. Candidates may use assets from a prior election cycle, but they may not be utilized until the candidate purchases them from the previous campaign committee and makes a payment to the commission. Travel expenses directly related to the campaign must be reported if there are reimbursements for volunteers, fuel purchases for the candidate's personal vehicle, bus tickets, plane tickets, and/or rental cars. Food expenses for candidates are discretionary, but they must be reported and relate directly to a candidate's campaign. Petty cash expenditures must be reported and identify the full name and street address of the person providing goods and services, including any payment made to a sub-vendor. Expenditures must be itemized for when a candidate authorizes another agent to use personal monies for campaign purchases, when consultants or vendors use services of other vendors, and when petty cash is used. If a campaign hires a family member or uses a family member's business, they must be identified as such on the campaign finance reports. Participating candidates may not use campaign funds for legal defense, personal use, or fixed assets valued over $800. Under current statute, campaign expenditures on behalf of the campaign, not considered expenditures, are the value of an individual's volunteer services or expenses, the value of any news story or commentary by any company not owned or operated by a candidate, spouse, or committee, the value of nonpartisan communications to encourage voter registration and turnout, and any payment for legal or accounting services. You can find additional information and materials about participating in Clean Elections funding on our website, or by contacting the Commission staff.